What is up, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and I'm here today with my top 5 picks for this coming week's new comic book day. Don't go anywhere. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and check this out. Huge thank you to the channel sponsors, Big Time Collectibles. They sponsor the monthly Legion Loot giveaway for the channel members, so be sure to hit that join button down below. Check it out, see if it's something for you, and get in on the action. And check out Big Time Collectibles at their website and on social media. If you need anything clean or pressed, hit up Justin down in the description. Let him know you found him via the channel. And a huge shout out to my local sponsor and local comic shop, ABX Comics and Games. If you're in the area, be sure to swing through, check it out. All the sponsors are linked in the description, so let's get into it. We just had a massive release week last week. Now, this week is kind of slowing it back down a little bit, at least for me. I know there's a lot of Marvel titles dropping. I don't pull a lot of Marvel these days. Pretty much just Ghost Rider, Punisher wrapped up, and any Hulk titles. And so just kind of waiting on Philip Kennedy Johnson to kick off that new Incredible Hulk run. But in the meantime, coming in on the top of my list, we have Green Lantern issue number 2 from Jeremy Adams. He just wrapped up his Flash run last week. Now we're kicking it off into the next era with Green Lantern. He's taking over the mantle of Hal Jordan, returning to Earth, and Earth is quarantined. We're going to see why the Guardians quarantined it, but it's going to take a little while to get there, because after this issue, we're going to be moving over into the Night Terror event that's going to take over all of our titles for 2 months. I'm hoping it's going to be good, because you're forcing people to invest in it whether they wanted to or not. You're taking your entire slate of books, you're branding them Night Terrors for 2 months, and then we have to wait to get back to the normal, regular scheduled program. Don't know how I feel about that yet. It really is going to depend on how good Night Terrors is, but I'm really excited for Jeremy Adams' take on Hal Jordan, especially after seeing what he did with Wally West. Just chef's kiss. So be sure to check this out, and if you're excited for Philip Kennedy Johnson's Incredible Hulk run, this book will tide you over as well, because there's a backup story featuring John Stewart, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, the writer who kind of brought Superman back to his saving grace. So definitely check this title out. It's going to be a good one, guarantee it. And I'm big excited to see Kilowog there on the cover as well. Next up, clocking in at number 2, we have Christopher Priest's Superman Lost issue number 4. Now, this is a maxi series. This is not necessarily inside the main continuity. Granted, everything matters. It exists somewhere in time and somewhere in the multiverse. This isn't impacting our regular Action Comics or Superman comics. But what this story is a tale of Superman being thrown across the cosmos and taking 20 years to get home. It was 20 years for him, mere moments for everyone back on Earth, and we're getting to see what happened to him in that time span. We've already been introduced to a lot of different little elements with this from different civilizations he's ran into, Lobo space dolphins, the concept of just how far away he is and what it's going to take to get there. He's rocking this solar suit that he got gifted to him by some terrestrials from a different planet, without getting into spoilers, but I'm really excited to continue down this one. It really feels like a Space Odyssey style book, and I think that works perfectly for this character. So Christopher Priest is knocking out of the park already. Next up, one that I'm always excited to pull, and I am a few issues behind on this one, and it's none other than Wildcats. I believe it's Michael Rosenbaum. I think that's his first name. It might not be Michael, something Rosenbaum, but Wildcats issue number 8. I thought that this was going to be a 6-issue mini, so now I was going to wait, collect it, and then just read it all, but it went past that. So now I just have to kind of sit down and binge read to catch up. But that last issue, they teased the death of Grifter. Obviously, he wasn't going anywhere. It looks like we have a few extra appearances in this one. As you can see, he's sitting on the back of Maul, who was one of my favorite characters as a kid, because the whole parallel to the Incredible Hulk, the big, strong green guy kind of thing. I'm excited to dive into this and get caught up. I know that they played with other elements like the 7 Soldiers of Victory and stuff like that along the way, and Grifter's been dropping all kinds of Easter eggs about Deceased, DC versus Vampire, and all kinds of other fun DC comic elements. And next up, this one, dude, this might be my pick of the week. Let me slide over, because this is a larger format book. This is Waller versus Wildstorm, and this is under the DC Black Label imprint. This had a really cool tone and feel to that first issue. It was kind of like, it felt like it was a throwback to the 90s era, where we have like a hodgepodge Suicide Squad team, more or less, made up of a lot of Wildstorm characters. Now, the timing is definitely in the past, as Amanda Waller is kind of just getting into her footing, just making a name for herself, and people are realizing just how big of a danger she really is. So people are trying to come in and Lois Lane's kind of involved in this and trying to come in and trying to figure out who she is, what she's up to, why she's up to it, and just how far her reach and her danger can go. So I'm pumped for this. It had that that foreign espionage feel to it, and it's in that prestige format. It really gives the artwork room to breathe and really do its best work. So big excited for that. And then the last book on the top 5 list is none other than the DC Pride Through the Years one-shot special. This is going to be an 80-page giant. It has a $9.99 price tag, and all that kind of sucks because, to be honest with you, this is just 3 reprints in here. We have the Batwoman's first solo series is reprinted, an issue of The Flash from 1993 where the Pied Piper comes out of the closet, and an issue of Supergirl where she helps a non-binary individual. Those are all stories that have been told, just now collected. Why is this on my top list? Because of that guy down there. Alan Scott has an original story being told in here, brand new material, and it's kind of leading us into what's coming with his new miniseries. It was announced that Alan Scott, Jay Garrett, Wesley Dodds, the Sandman are all 3 getting miniseries. Miniseries as of now. You know how it goes. Depending on sales, they'll extend them in this current Dawn of DC slate. But I'm huge excited for anything you give me, Alan Scott. By far my favorite Green Lantern. The coolest one there really is, in my opinion. Hal Jordan's a close second, but it's Alan Scott for the win. So I'm going to pay the $9.99 price tag to get probably 8 pages of story, but it'll be worth it for me as a Green Lantern fan. Otherwise, go into this book knowing that these are just 3 reprints, and who knows if it's going to be an 8-page Alan Scott story, or it could dominate a lot of the book as well. Again, it's 80 pages, but there are 3 full-size comics in there that roughly clock in at 28 to 32 pages. So I don't think we're getting a lot of Alan Scott in this one, but they're teasing it, so it's in there. He's got the little bubble on the bottom. I do love this cover, that classic vintage look. It reminds me of the end of the Adam West Batman show with the cityscape silhouetted on the back there. But that's going to do it for my top 5 picks. Again, this is a slow week, but I just don't get Marvel. They got to do better. They got to give me better stories. There's nothing coming. Even with the indie stuff, it looks super light on the indies. But if you want to know what my top pick for this week is and why, be sure to check out the Comic Vet. He posts a video where him and I both give you our top pick for the week going in blind and tell you why we're excited about it. And be sure to check out the channel. This comes out on Saturday. So tomorrow is the special Transformers edition of At Week's End. I'm recording this on this day. So this past Thursday, I'll have seen Transformers Rise of the Beast, and we'll be talking full spoilers tomorrow, Sunday. I try to keep the days in line with when these videos release. It gets troublesome at times, but this month is crazy. We did Into the Spider-Verse the week before. We're doing Transformers this week. We'll be doing The Flash hot off the heels of Heroes Con. If you're going to Heroes Con in North Carolina, be sure to hit me up on IG while you're there and see if you can find me. I'll be up there. There'll be a bunch of people up there having a good time. Hope to see everyone there, and if not, I'll see you in the live chat Sunday night. As always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.